of this belongs here, but I've been thinking about it for months, and I can't shake it. There's a meat company outside a mid-sized border city in Texas. I won't say the name because I don't want problems, but people around here know the factory. Huge building, no windows, trucks coming in and out all night. Their products are everywhere too. Burgers, sausages, and frozen patties. You've probably seen their brand before and never thought twice about it. That's what bothers me. Nobody ever asks how they produce so much meat. The official answer is cattle, pork, processing contracts, supply chains, all the normal stuff. But people who live near the factory have been saying something different for years. Young men go missing around here, mostly guys in their early 20s, low-income neighborhoods, guys with nobody really checking on them. The type of men no one would probably care enough to look for. A lot of them are healthy, strong, athletic-looking men. Men who work hard and to stay in shape, and still somehow live close enough to the edge that if they disappeared, people might just assume they left town, got arrested, or got mixed up in something bad. And somehow they vanish without much noise. The rumor started after a former night shift worker supposedly told someone that the company had a special selection process. He said the best bodies weren't worth more, not for organs, not for trafficking, for product. The story sounds insane, but the more you listen, the more disturbing it gets. Unmarked vans, job offers that go nowhere, men being picked up for cash work, security guards who act more like prison staff, refrigerated trucks leaving at 3 in the morning with no company markings. One guy claimed he saw a pair of work boots and a phone dumped behind the factory fence. Another said his cousin took a one-day job there and never came home. Police wrote it off as someone running away. But here's the part I can't stop thinking about. Their cheapest hot dogs and burger patties are always marketed toward the same neighborhoods the missing men came from. It's like the city is eating its own people and nobody wants to say it out loud. Maybe it's just a sick rumor, maybe it's paranoia. Maybe every missing person has a normal explanation. But every time I see one of their trucks driving through town at night, I wonder what's inside. And every time I see people grilling those burgers, I wonder where the meat really came from. My girlfriend has always been a creative type. When we first started talking, it seemed like the conversation would always shift towards either sketching, drawing, or painting. I find it admirable. I love that she had something that meant so much to her, something she could be passionate about. The more time went on, the more that passion grew. It wasn't until we started dating that she felt comfortable enough to show me her work. Though, I love her more than anything in the world. But, good Lord, I hate to say it, she was not good. Her shades were off, her lines were crooked. Her portraits bordered on stick figures. Of course I didn't want to let on exactly what I thought of what she was showing me. But I can only pretend so much. That's the thing, though. Anytime I offered her advice, she'd just get so defensive. She was just so convinced that she was gonna be the next big thing, in the art world. I wanted her to succeed. Of course I wanted her to succeed. But in order to do that, she just had to listen to me. I'm not an artist myself. I could still see where she was falling short. I would nudge her, critique her in the nicest possible way I could muster. And it only led to her becoming more closed off with her work. Unfortunately, the more closed off she became with her work, the more closed off she became in general. It was like her main talking point, and here I was, feeling like an asshole for taking that away from her. I tried apologizing to her and explaining that I was just trying to help her, but she'd just keep that same blank expression on her face. I'll try to get better for you. That's all she'd tell me. I wanted to believe her, but it seemed like she wasn't even trying anymore. I never saw her sketching. I never saw her drawing. I never saw her painting. It created this friction in our relationship that made every situation feel tense. We didn't even argue. We'd just try and converse awkwardly before we both went back to our phones. At the peak of her withdrawal, that's when she started taking classes. She didn't seem excited about it. She didn't seem eager to be better. She seemed like she was doing it out of spite, like she was defeated but ready to prove me wrong. She'd be gone 3 days a week from 5 to 10 p.m. And after about a month of this, she started bringing home her work. She never showed it to me. I would just find colorful canvases hanging up around the house, in the kitchen, in the living room. Hell, even the bathroom had a few. She had definitely been improving. Her lines were straighter. Her shades were more on point. Her paintings wowed me rather than making me force out a fake smile. Or, that's so good, honey. At first, she was bringing home paintings of landscapes, mountain ranges, ocean horizons, forest. Then it turned into castles, mansions, shacks and sheds. Then it was people, the most detailed portraits she had ever produced. Her mom, her dad, her teacher from class. I wish that's where it would have stopped. She had proved me wrong. She had convinced me. She had nothing else to prove. But it didn't stop there. She couldn't have just been happy with the progress she had made. I came home from work one day to find the first painting she had done of me personally. It had been hung up along with the dozens of other random paintings in our living room. I saw it and immediately became sick to my stomach. It was me, just disassembled. I heard her humming to herself in our bedroom. I approached her carefully as she sketched wildly in her sketchbook. "Honey," I whispered, "why did you do that painting of me?" Continuing to hum without even looking up from her sketchbook, she responded, "Just how I was feeling today," as she continued scribbling on her page. In the weeks that followed, more and more pieces began to pop up around the house, each one depicting different versions of my death. She never seemed angry or agitated. She just seemed distant but at peace, and that's the part that hurts me. She seemed to have this obsession with the dismemberment. In every piece, I was dismembered in some way or another, held together by wires, forced to be a scarecrow, One showed me to be ornaments strewn about a Christmas tree. At this point, there's at least a dozen of them, but that's not the part that concerns me. What concerns me is that I've been waking up with outlines drawn around the circumference, outlined with my legs and arms, my neck and torso, like she's figuring out a design. She always denies any involvement whenever I question her. But who else could it be? Does she think that I'll believe I'm just doing this to myself? I don't know what to do. I just wanted her to be the artist I knew she could be.